Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Rehan Forest Valley and I'm thrilled to welcome all of you to this special interview session. Today we have the honor of hosting a truly remarkable individual, Paris. Miss Paris, I feel privileged to introduce our distinguished guest who has made significant contributions to education and community service. Without further ado, let's delve into Paris' inspiring life journey. Thank you so much, Miss Paris, for being here with us today. We are eager to learn more about your incredible work and experiences. So, welcome, Miss Paris. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. So, first of all, please introduce yourself for my viewers.
Hi, my name is Paris. I recently graduated from high school. I'm going to the University of Western Ontario next year for BMOS and Ivy. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here with Minaya.
It's my pleasure. So now let's move on to question. So my first question is, tell us about your role as the founder and president of Homeworkhub and co-founder of Compass Tutoring. What inspired you to start these initiatives, and what have been some of the challenges and successes you've experienced?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I'd say my largest project in high school is Homeworkhub tutoring. I'd say I started it in grade 10 because of the pandemic. A lot of students didn't have access to educational aid. So that was our initial inspiration. However, we have grown a lot to over 3,000 members across the world in the past couple of years. So we're really thankful for that. Yeah, so I would say some of the challenges for Homeworkhub was definitely getting started in the beginning because I just moved here at the start of the pandemic, so I didn't know anyone. Couldn't really connect with the community. So getting in touch with people, like finding a team, finding partners, finding volunteers, finding students even was a very hard task. So yeah, that was probably our biggest challenge as of any like startup youth group was getting started actually. And then I'd say we've become quite successful in the past 2 years that we've been running. We've helped, like I said, we reached 3,000 students worldwide, and we have been featured on a lot of shows such as CBC, the Rosemary Barton Show, CTV, etc. So yeah, I think that has definitely propelled us forward and helped us reach more people. And then for Compass Tutoring, I am the co-founder of that. The main founder, Maria, she actually worked a lot on this. I was kind of like her helper. However, it was kind of inspired by Homeworkhub, and it was kind of like a separate thing that we did for profit, and we would donate some of the profits to Homeworkhub. So it's kind of like a cycle.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. So my next question is, as a debate club vice president at Waterloo Collegiate Institute, you must have developed strong leadership and communication skills. How has your experience in this role influenced your personal and professional growth?
Yeah, for debate is actually one of the first clubs I joined. After moving back to Canada, I forgot to mention I lived in the States for 3 years. So I went from Canada to the States to back to Canada. So one of the first clubs that I joined online because everything was like virtual in the middle of the pandemic was Debate Club. So yeah, I really like this club. It's probably one of the longest clubs I've ever joined. And we meet a lot of different people. We get to talk about a lot of different topics. It really opens and debating, like even though it's like kind of a competition, it really opens your eyes to a lot of different issues in the world. So I think beyond like all these public speaking skills that we get from participating in speaking debate, we get a lot of perspective and we get to meet a lot of really cool people.
All right. So first of all, congratulations on receiving endorsements to team leadership and writing skills. How have you applied these skills in your academic pursuits and extracurricular activities?
Yeah, so team leadership is pretty pretty, I guess, self-explanatory. Obviously, to operate an operation such as Homeworkhub, to lead anything, we need to work in a team, and we need to have those basic team player abilities. So that, like, I apply my team leadership skills in almost everything I do. And then for writing, that's also really important because at the beginning of Homeworkhub, I was writing all of our emails, all of our advertisements. So you do have to have a pretty good communication and writing skill level there.
All right. Thank you so much for your answer. So my next question is the Ontario DECA top 15 BT DM exams recognitions is impressive. Can you tell us more about your exams and how they have contributed to your understanding of business and entrepreneurship?
So yeah, DECA is actually an international competition. It's a commerce and business competition, and it's participated by like a lot of. It's one of the I think it is the largest business competition in the world. So just a bit of background, I started in DECA in grade 9 when I was still in the States, and that went really well for me. I did make it to the ICDC competition, but then it got canceled because of COVID. So then I think that's when I started to get really interested into business and kind of like entrepreneurship, because that was my first experience. And then moving here, for BTTM specifically, the exams are, I'm going to be honest, they're very common knowledge. So I wouldn't say they helped me too much, but it definitely helped me. The event in and of itself helped me develop really good communication skills, learning how to operate in case study competitions, which is pretty common in university as well. So yeah.
All right. So, being recognized in the Catherine 5 leading women, leading girls, building communities recognition program is an incredible achievement. How have you been involved in community service and what impact do you hope to make through your contributions?
Yeah. So that's a really great question. Thank you again for bringing this up. So I have been involved in the community that I'm in right now for not very long, because like I said, I moved here, so I think it's been only 3-4 years since the move. But still, I've gotten to know the community very well through these community service endeavors that I've done. So I started even before Homework Hub, I volunteered at One Youth Services to do fundraising to donate gift cards to the youths. I did backpack drives. I did some online volunteering in the community. Again, it was COVID times. And then my biggest community impact, I think, is Homework Hub. I've been able to reach not only students worldwide, but it really began in the community that I'm in right now. So yeah, I think in the future I would like to keep going down the route of educational equity and educational accessibility, which is really Homework Hub's main mission.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. So your status as an AP scholar with distinction indeed indicates expectational academic performance. Can you sum of your strategies for academic success and time management, especially with your involvement in various extracurricular activities?
Yeah. So AP Scholar. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of like an extra to school because I originally wanted to apply to the United States. So for United States, we need AP exams, or I wouldn't say we need, but it's always good to have. It's kind of like your SATs. It's a standardized form of testing. So for the AP, I took 7 in total, I believe. Yeah, I had 5 at the time of my university applications, 7 in total. And I would say I've done pretty well in them. I won't bore you with the exact scores. But so because for AP specifically, if you want to do well in your AP exams, I had to self-study them because my school is Canadian school. They didn't offer many of the courses, many of the exams or the courses, so I had to find schools that can host them, and I would take them there. You do need a lot of self-studying and self-motivation to do well in these tests because again, there's no teacher, there's no assignment requirement. So yeah, I self-studied with the Baron books with the online resources. So that's how I took the AP exams myself. But for school in general, while like juggling academics and extracurriculars and like a social life probably, I would say like um, set a like schedule for yourself. Make sure you get everything like done on time, and try to avoid procrastination as much as possible because once you start, it's really hard to stop. But also, I think it's important to make time for your friends and like a social life. I think it even makes you more productive because once you get that energy out there, you have more time to focus on school.
All right. So the France Annie Sweeney Making Difference Grade 11 Award, recognizing your achievements and citizenship values. How do you prioritize community involved while balancing your academic and personal life?
Yeah, so the Francis Sweeney Award, actually, I received it again this year. This time it was a scholarship, so I'm very thankful to the Francis Sweeney Foundation for offering these award opportunities. So to prioritize community involvement, I wouldn't say prioritize because like we really don't want to put one thing over another. We want to make sure that we're dividing like the amount of attention we want to everything, like to school, to social lives, and whatnot. But I was passionate about my community involvement, so I think um, like passion was the driving force behind like all of my community involvement, and also I was able to win the award.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. So it is impressive, but you have received awards and recognition in the field of music as well. How does music influence your life, and how do you see it complementing and other pursuits?
Yeah, so music actually, it used to be a very big prominent, like a very prominent part of my life. I played piano from the age of 6 until I was, I'd say 16, 17, so a good like 10, 11 years. Excuse me. But I had to stop because of like university and school. It was getting a lot. It was getting to be a lot, but in the time that I did play piano, I was really, I did a lot of competitions. I really loved doing competitions. They were really fun. Um, and I also tutored music to a couple of students, so that was also a really good experience. I would say music has taught me a lot of discipline because for music you have to practice a lot, so much. Like I'd say especially at high levels, when I was competing at high levels, I would have to practice like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day even. So that really taught me like how, the way I apply myself to music. I also learned to apply to my other endeavors, so that was really useful.
Okay, great. So, as a silver medalist in Le Grand Conqueror, you have showcased your proficiency in the French language. How do you plan to utilize your language skills in your future endeavors?
Yeah, your French pronunciation is very good. So for Le Grand Concours, it actually wasn't that hard to get because um, I've been speaking French for basically my entire life. My parents started me in like a completely French school, so I'm really grateful for that. So I've been able to grow up trilingual, which I still know all my languages to this day. So it's been actually really useful in networking. Networking, I have like a big Chinese community in my area. I'm able to communicate with them. In terms of like French, I'm able to contact like French school boards and such for Homeworkhub's needs. So I think networking is the main advantage to multilingualism.
All right. So, qualifying for the ICDC in the marketing sector shows your talent in the business and marketing domain. How do you envision utilizing this experience in your career path?
Yeah, so ICDC is again, it's DECA. So this was again when I was in the States in grade 9. So ICDC is the international competition for DECA. It's when like all the countries come together. It's usually in the States. This year it was in Orlando. Um, so I knew I was interested in business entrepreneurship like from a very young age. Grade 9 was just like the first time I got a taste for it. So I definitely think this is what I'm going to go into in the future. I'm going into university for this. So I that is yeah. I guess because I didn't actually get to go to ICGC, the experience itself, it was because of COVID, but the experience itself wouldn't be too useful for my career, but at least like it really gave me a lot of direction into knowing like what I want to do in the future.
All right, thanks so much for your answer. So, my next question is, could you share with us the story behind the funding of Homeworkhub and Compass Tutoring? What motivated you establish these initiatives and what do you hope to achieve through them?
I will talk more about Homework Hub, I think, because Compass was really, I would say I was more of like an assisting hand there. So there's, so like even though it's like, um, it was like a big part of my high school life, I wouldn't say it doesn't have that much story. So, I think I'm gonna focus on Homework Hub. So the motivation behind this, I think I mentioned this earlier, was because during COVID, I just moved here and I wanted to connect with my community, but I also noticed that younger students weren't getting the support they needed in school during COVID. And this was like I saw this in my brother, who's usually a good student. He's younger than me, who was having these problems. So yeah, that was my motivation for founding it. But ever since then, I think our mission has kind of shifted. Like even though it's no longer COVID time right now. We've still been able to survive pretty well because a lot of students still are in need of academic aid, a lot of students in need. So we've been really able to shift our mission statement, shift our services to help these marginalized people in our community. So I think, yes, it's so though our original mission was to conform to COVID times, we've been able to adapt pretty well.
All right. So, my next question is, as the president of Homework Hub, what are some of the challenges you face in providing educational support to students and how do you overcome them?
So from a technical standpoint, our biggest issue is definitely some of our tutors not showing up, not being responsive, because again, this is a volunteer position for them, and we really appreciate all of our tutors, like nonetheless. So to remedy that, I think one of the ways that we found is good and is working is being more engaged with the tutors. We have like more longer conversations with them during the original interview stage when we onboard the tutors. We have increased tutor training. We have increased tutor outreach during their sessions. Like we'll email them for checkups. So I think that's been a better way for us to like engage our tutors and um, make them more involved in our community and in their volunteer roles.
Oh, okay, all right. So, being a co founder of Compass Tutoring, how do you ensure the quality and efficiency of the tutoring service provided to students?
So speaking, I'm gonna be honest. Quality assurance wasn't my job at Compass. It was mainly my partners. However, I know like we do a pretty rigorous like tutoring interview process. We review their resumes, we interview them, and we also have like a training handbook that they can refer to. And myself, like I am a tutor at Compass Tutoring. So for me, what I do to ensure that like my lessons are always up to the standard, I will make a lesson plan. Like before each lesson, I'll be in constant communication with my students' parents to learn like if there's anything they want me to add into the courses, to help their child. So yeah, that's kind of just a personal tip.
All right. So, in your role as the vice president of the debate club at Waterloo Collegiate Institute, what specific contributions have you made to foster a thriving debate community?
So in the debate club, I mainly did like I did some lessons and I judged some rounds. So for the lessons, I tried my best to incorporate like more world issues. I think that's true of like any debate lesson, but we incorporated like a lot of world issues, current issues. Like when the war in Ukraine started, we did like a lesson on that. We did a debate on that. So I think that helped like um, educate our members in the club and help them be a little bit more like in the know, which is always good, not only in debate but also in real life.
All right. So, how do you believe your involvement in debate has enhanced your critical thinking and communication skills? And how do you apply these skills in your day to day life?
Yeah, so for debate, critical thinking, you definitely need to think really fast. In a debate round, sometimes you need to make up points on the spot. So it's really helped like sharpen my mind. I feel like because like before debate, I was I was a little bit slow. So yeah, debate has helped me like make it quicker, sharpen my mind. I think that's a really useful skill for every day.
All right. So, as an AP student, how do you manage the rigorous academic workload while also leading various extracurricular activities?
Um, that's a good question. I'm not even sure how I did it all 4 years, but I think the key to that is like knowing what to prioritize at what time. In the summer, my nonprofit was like basically the only thing I did. I did so much work for my nonprofit. Like over the summer, I did all of my fundraisers, like all of my grant applications over the summer. Like the bulk of the work that you usually wouldn't have time during a regular school year. During like exam time, especially for AP exams, that's like the month of May. And I said April, like mid-May. During that time, I know to like put my nonprofit aside for a bit, let my team handle it. Like I trust my team very much to run things, while I focus more on my exams. So again, it's a lot of prioritizing the right things at the right time.
All right. So, first of all, congratulations on receiving endorsements of team leadership and writing. So, can you share some instances where these skills have played a pivotal role in your leadership roles and achievements?
Um, yeah, I'd say that um, they have served me pretty well. They're kind of I'd say like for online, I receive these endorsements from people that I work with, people that I've met through Homeworkhub. So they've helped me enrich my connections with other people. I think yeah, that's the main thing.
Okay. So, your accomplishment in music, such as the first place Diploma Piano Award and the top three Outstanding Performer Award, are remarkable. How do you balance your passion for music with your other responsibilities?
Oh yeah, so as I mentioned before, I did have to let go of piano for a while. Um, in my last year of high school because it was getting to be a little bit too much with university applications and everything I was doing on the side and school. So before, when the piano was my main extracurricular, I would be able to relatively well school, practice a couple hours, do my homework, etc. However, I think like the important lesson is that you definitely shouldn't try balancing everything. Like if I kept being a competitive piano player, I either wouldn't have been very good because I couldn't practice as much, or I wouldn't have very high energy, or my extracurriculars would suffer. So yeah, it's important to like know what to prioritize. And for me, I think it was my community involvement since that's what would like help me in my own journey the most, in my own like career the most as well. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Paris, for sharing your inspiring journey with us. Your dedication to education, community service, and leadership is truly commendable. It's evident that you have passion for making a positive impact in various domains, and your accomplishments speak volumes about your hard work and determination. From your role as the founder and president of Homeworkhub and co-founder of Compass Tutoring to your achievements in debate, music, and academic pursuits, you've demonstrated a diverse range of talent and skills. Your resilience and the pursuits of knowledge is truly admirable. We are grateful for the valuable insight for you we shared today, and I have no doubt that your experience will serve as an inspiration to many. As you continue to make difference in your community and beyond, may you find even greater success and fulfillment in your endeavors to your audience. I hope you be been as inspired as I have by Miss Paris' remarkable journey. Remember that success comes from hard work, patience, and desire to continue positively to the world around us. Before we conclude, is there anything you'd like to say to our audience? Any advice for inspiring individuals who wish to follow in your food steps?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It was really, really nice talking to you. And I guess one piece of advice would be to persevere. It's a very common piece, but like you want to give up like so much. I think it's justified how much it's repeated. Like if something doesn't work out for you, it just means it's not meant for you because a lot of things didn't work out for me. Like a lot of things, so many things. But it's important to just to keep going and um, to keep creating your own narrative. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much once again, Miss Paris, for gracing with us with your presence and sharing your experiences. We wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. And may you continue to be shining examples of excellence and leadership. And to our audience, thank you for joining us in the insightful interview. We hope you found it both informative and inspiring. Remember, each one of us has the potential to make a difference, just like our esteemed guest, Miss Paris. So, thank you so much, Miss Paris. Bye.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
wonderful
Have a
day.
good day. Bye.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.